We are on the second part of your final assignments. That is the branding exercise, where you will create a logo or two, a media kit, and some creative work. So this is your doing thing. You've already done the midterm, right? And you've written about what your plans were to be, and now you're going to start to implement them. Okay, scrolling down the same sheet that you had for the midterm, let's move to the branding exercise. All right, now I don't want you to be using the Pepsi Cola logo. You're going to be creating your own for whatever company that you've been approved to follow. And here's a couple of things. Okay, so the big picture is the media kit. It used to be called press kits. These are packets of information that may include news releases, photographs, feature stories, fact sheets, the bio sheets, background, position papers, etc. So these are things, if you've gone to the ArcBest website, for example, or even Nike, whomever you looked at for the big, great companies that do media, they will have these on their website so that the media can pull these down as they need. Okay, so if they need, if they're talking about a press release or a media release, then they can look and see, who's going to be involved, etc. Who's the CEO, who's the IT person, what's some background information, what's the history of the organization, do they have an FAQ, frequently asked questions tab on their website. So those are the things that you've already kind of thought about, and now you're going to implement them. Okay, so you're creating the components of this media kit for the small business or organization of your choosing, based upon what you told me during your midterm plan. It should not be any of the companies, like we said, that you've critiqued for the media kit portion. Okay, so you had an assignment of a big company. That's not what you're doing. This is, some of a homegrown small business organization. So the digital media kits, sometimes called EPKs, are distributed in several ways. And again, these are somewhat antiquated, so hopefully you're going to be doing it through, the organization's website. And when I say the organization's website, I mean that's the website that you create using Wix or something similar. Okay, so after reviewing Chapter 6, which is on Blackboard, you're going to give about a background, an about section like you see on websites. So that's a background information. Maybe there's the mission statement on there, what's going on. It's basically one page. You can also have the FAQ there, so it can be like a number, facts, and that's where you could have your infographic, or an FAQ, which is frequently asked questions. So if you're doing, say, an event, that an FAQ would be totally appropriate for it. Your mission statement, so we've gone over that at the beginning, why your company exists, what's their purpose, that's what the mission, and hopefully a vision statement. Any kind of visual aspects you're creating, such as a video or anything visual from the website. And keep in mind, when you're encouraged to use whatever software you feel comfortable with. Wix, Wix.com, is a free website. The logo, or plural, that you're trying to create, I advise Canva, Canva. That is one that you can also use for free. But if you like Photoshop, or you're with any of the Premiere Pro items and you really like it, that's great. Okay, and here's things that you've already seen during the course of the semester. Bios, biographical information about any of the stakeholders, or if you're doing some kind of event, what's the keynote speaker? We need background information. The contact information if the media wanted to know more. Web links, social media to include YouTube. So, this social media is a critical component. So where are you going to link it, and have you created it? You have plenty of time still. A few news releases, just like you've been creating previously. Now you can create them for your organization or company. And then you need some photos, thumbnail sizes. You can do them on some sort of proof sheet, put it on a Word doc, and incorporate it into a PDF or a PowerPoint, or you can just put it on your website as such. And then if you look a little bit into the chapters, it talks a little bit about media advisories and pitch by mail. You can do either one of those. You don't have to do both. And then, although this is not part of the branding exercise, something to consider in the future while you're thinking about this. What would be your timeline for your particular PR campaign? It's good to make sense of that now. What would be your budget? Okay, now so think real life, not, I have to buy candy bars for my friends that are going to be helping me with this video. If this was real life, what would these things be costing? Because you're pitching yourself as the actual PR person. What kind of evaluation? Obviously, this is going to be post, that's why it's in the final. Scientific approach to your evaluation. So did you do surveys? Did you do a focus group? Are there any kind of studies that align to what you're trying to do? And any benchmark studies? And then I'm not going to have you do a flash drive if you leave access to your website up for about 4 weeks after you submit it. Some students don't, and then I can't find it later, particularly if it's a good example. So that's it in a nutshell. The rest of the time is to go do and have fun. You have a lot of time to do this. You have at least 5 weeks. Enjoy.